Good morning, Springfield. This is Steve McAllister, and this is Silver Linings. I guess it's pretty raw out there today. Of course, it's typical. It's springtime, but it's like I heard it was only going to get to 43 degrees today, 45. Anyway, um, well, welcome anyway. It's a great morning to be here anyway, and we've got a great show for you this morning, not this afternoon, this morning. And I'd like to introduce Brandy here.
Good morning,
She's going to
everybody.
be talking here real soon about domestic violence and what we need, what experience that she's been through. And then next week is part two with her mom, Lisa. She'll be visiting us through Zoom, and she'll be continuing her story. So we want you to just close attention. And if you have anybody out there that's going through something, you may want to listen to these folks or these ladies, because next week we're going to give you some information about how you can get some help. And well, Brandy, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And you guys, I mean, for a drive, where'd you guys come from? I mean,
Well, we live outside of Austin, Texas.
okay.
So quite a few, but that's okay. We made a vacation out of it.
Oh, yeah. And I guess you guys stayed in Eureka Springs.
Yes, it's beautiful there, and some cottages. It's so
Oh,
pretty. There's so
yeah.
many trees. I love it.
I love that area.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of nice homes and everything. Um, I wanted to start out by you said you guys live just not too far from Austin, Texas. We were just talking about it before we started. What's going on with the fires?
I believe I forgot the exact square footage of how much burned,
Six
but
thousand.
it's a lot, and it's so scary. I absolutely. I mean, it's just I don't know how to say it, but it's overwhelming. I mean, especially getting that close to your house. Like, it got really close to my parents' house, and I was a little bit concerned, but thankfully, goodness, it didn't get that close. So it could have been worse.
That's for sure. I mean, it's
Yeah.
gotten pretty close to a few. I've got a pastor friend down there in Comanche, Texas, and he said just the surrounding areas around there, it's just like he's in a bubble,
Yeah.
and just it's so close, but yet so far
Right.
where those
Yeah.
fires are at, and there's so many communities, small communities of 200 people,
Yeah.
but
Completely.
and some of those homes have just been destroyed, churches, and
Yes.
there's not that many houses or not that many stores or buildings in those communities. There's like in one community there's like only 3 or 4 buildings. Some of those have been like on the
Demolished.
verge of either getting burned or burned.
Yeah.
And so we just got to pray for those
Absolutely.
people. And
We had a tornado the other day as well, and it was brutal from what I can tell. It was a couple towns over. So, and there was one truck that flipped on its side, and all of a sudden, it just another wind came through, and it popped it back up and drove away. It was
drove
just,
away.
it drove away. It drove away. I know.
God was really looking out for that person.
Yeah. It's overwhelming to watch because it's like, holy moly.
Yeah, it's
You
like a
can only
stunt.
imagine that man or woman, whoever it was, like, just,
Yeah, maybe he was meant to keep on trucking.
I think so. I think so.
Wow.
It's, it's
Um,
amazing.
when something like that, you'd see something like that in a movie,
Hmm.
and
Right. But in
when
real
you see
life,
something like that, you think, "Oh, that was a stunt." Somebody's no, that was real life.
yeah.
And you're going to show me the video later. We can,
I will. And
yeah,
I watched it a couple times because, like I said, it was just mind blowing. It's like, wow.
something like that might end up on YouTube. I don't know.
Crazy beautiful. That's what I mean, it's just, I mean, he just flew and got out of there. So,
By the way, Lisa, you're in the studio, so hi.
hi, Mom.
Um, she'll be via Zoom next week, and she'll be talking a lot more about what were the title of our show, which is domestic violence. I can't even hardly speak today.
Oh,
But
man.
anyway, it's not that I'm nervous. It's just been one of those mornings.
Yeah. It's gloomy outside.
Gloomy. Yeah, that's a good word to say, gloomy.
Yeah.
But tomorrow I heard it's supposed to be better. It's supposed to be sunnier and like popping
Good.
back up and by the weekend in the 70s again.
Good.
So we need the 70s back.
Yes, we do.
I'm looking forward to the 80s.
I am from Texas, so like it can get up to over 100. So 70s, I will take any day.
Yep, it's like
Absolutely.
it's
Yep.
like what they say on the east coast of California where I was, or the west coast. In San Diego, it's like right on the water. It's like 70 something, and then if you go far inland enough, it then jumps about 15 degrees. But Texas, I heard it. Yeah, it
You
gets
never
brutal.
know. It could snow one day and then the next be like just beautiful outside. I mean, like 90. That's Texas for you. Never know.
That's right. So, well, we're gonna continue, and we're gonna kind of get a little serious here. So,
Sure.
folks, buckle up. Um, First of all, Brandy, when did you start feeling pressure in your life?
I would say right after high school. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And my mom was single, so it was just her and I. And I ended up going to a community college for like a good year. And I mean, she was the only one who was paying for it. I I felt a lot of pressure because I didn't know what I wanted to do at 18, 19 years old. So I think I stopped after about a year and was like, I need to get a job. So that's what I did. I started working for Bass Pro in Grapevine, Texas. I worked there for years, and I ended up going to dental school eventually, but didn't stick with that. But I would definitely say right after high school because it is a lot of pressure, and even I think now, like I don't really know what I want to do. I just kind of just go with the flow, I guess. That's what kind of person I am. So I'm easygoing, but I'm happy what I'm doing now. It's work with some great people. So, but definitely it was rough right after high school because it's like I said, I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I didn't want to me go to school and spend all that money and me have no idea. I mean, I just personally, it's just how I felt. That's what I remember feeling. Because it's just a lot for a single parent. So I just didn't feel my heart wasn't in it and my mind wasn't in it because I didn't know. So that's what I did. I just was like, I'm just gonna stop and go to work full time, and I enjoyed that. So and after that, it was opportunities, go up. So that's life for you.
Yeah, life likes to throw us curveballs once in a
Yes,
while, and some of
absolutely.
those curveballs can be super fast, and some of them are like slow.
Yeah, no kidding.
I've been through
Those are
both of
rough.
those and I've also gotten hit by those curveballs.
Mm-hmm. Yes, those are rough.
Yeah. So, did you feel like you could ask for help?
Absolutely. I mean, my mom's always been the number one in my life. I've always had the support from her. So absolutely. I'm bad about asking for help because I'm just I'm a real independent type. So as far as asking, it's not like I of course was able to ask if I could. I didn't really sometimes I didn't really know what to ask. I think it sometimes in life you're maybe in a rut and you don't really know which way to go. I mean, it's just kind of, so you're just kind of in the middle. So but absolutely, like I've always my mom's always been my number one. So I'm thankful for that every day.
Yeah, because moms can be a real help sometimes. I
Yes.
mean, they're the go-to people, right,
Yeah,
mom?
yeah. And she's the best. Don't tell her I said that. I don't want her to know. Yeah, don't tell her. She'll get a big head over there.
uh,
I kind of
uh,
like her, so
I won't. We're gonna be just like this.
good. I like it. I like it.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when did you get feel the pressure to be too much, or when did the pressure get to be too much, basically?
Um, Goodness, I would say probably right around my early 20s. Because by then, then you're supposed to kind of have an idea what you're doing, and and I remember mom asking me all the time, like, "What do you want to do?" I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So I would say right around then. And I think even now sometimes, because we talk about it, and it's just I think that the best things is when door opens just randomly. And so that's where I'm at now. I work for a home inspection company, which I adore. And I couldn't ask for a better place to put my time and energy. So I would say that.
Yeah, it's something that, especially if you like a job or you're in a job to
Yeah,
where it takes
it's so
pressure.
important because
Yeah,
I've worked at a job where I've just been miserable, and that's no way to live. You can't, I remember counting down the hours, like I can't wait to be out of here, and that's just not cool. So like I said, so it's being around the people really that matter. That's a huge part, a family type, and that's where I've always preferred to be an environment of family type. So we all look out after each other. And if you
yeah,
don't have that, then it's just sad
yeah. You
to
you have
me.
to have
Yeah,
families that stick together and pray together. It works much better that way.
yeah.
And
We look out after each other. That's the most important. So I mean, that's what I find important.
well, especially after what you guys have both been through,
Yeah,
it's really good and important now to have that um, feeling of being together and counting on each other, supporting each other,
absolutely.
because you you might go through some tough times, and when you have that tough time, you need to have that support and somebody to go to. And
Yes, safety
moms
net.
always do that. My
Sa-
mom was always there for me.
yeah, safety net.
Hmm.
Those are priceless.
Yeah, and strong safety nets.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure. So, what was important and to protect yourself or your mother?
Um, well, I'm a protective personality. I have been since I was little, and I think I just now realize that as of I'm 39 years old, and I think the last 6 months to a year or so, like I finally realized like that's my personality. Like I'm a protective person. I don't care what it is. So that's just my. So I've always been protective, and I protected her even when I was 6 years old. So it's just and vice versa. Like
Yeah, good
it's
for
just
you.
what we do. And there. So I've always, like I said, I've always been a protector, and
Yeah,
I'm proud of that.
good.
I
And
am.
being at 6 years old, you,
Even
you
younger, probably.
yeah, you want to be six, but you want to be 16. You want to be able to be say,
I couldn't wait.
you don't pick up my mom, or you don't do this, or you don't do
I
that.
know. I was an only child, so I was very. I didn't. I was. She was mine.
Yeah, you didn't have to worry about fighting
Yeah,
over a
I
sister and a
didn't.
brother.
I didn't have to trip anybody. So yeah, no. She was all mine. So but yeah, and I remember one time like she had a kind of, I don't know if I could talk about this, but she had a miscarriage, and I asked her, I was like, "Mom, can I go to the hospital? Because I want to be there." I was literally 6 years old, and she's like, "No, baby, you have to go to daycare or whatever." And I was like, "Okay." So come lunchtime, it was nap time. Well, after lunch, it was nap time, and I remember seeing this little pebble on the floor, and I ended up picking it up, sticking it in my nose. I don't know what the purpose was. I
Oh
just was like, "Oh,
man,
this is a good idea, right?" So I just stuck it in, and it got so far up there, I ended up having to go to the lady. I was like nonchalantly, I'm like, "I have a rock up my nose," and she's like, "Oh my god." So yeah. So the next thing I know, like there's a friend of my mom's that picked me up, and I ended up going to the hospital. So guess what? I got to go,
you got to
and
go to
I
the
was
hospital.
there.
Ha
And
ha!
I
I
will
got you.
never be sorry for that. I'm not ever going to apologize because I had to be there. And it was funny because my stepdad at the time was all like, "Brandy's here." And I think Mama come unglued at the time. And she goes, "She's fine. She's fine." So I ended up making my way to be there with her because I
You want
felt
to be there. See, that's one way of
I'll do it
protecting.
again. I'll do it again. Not a problem.
I wouldn't think you'd want to put a rock up your nose. And
No, but if sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And at that time, I thought being sick, so I'm like, that's what I got to do. And I didn't know, I didn't realize it. What I was doing, I was like, oh, okay, subconsciously. That's the only thing I could think of is just like, how do I get out of here? So
Yeah. I
I
want
know
to go
that
see
sounds
my
awful,
mom.
but at the time I'm thinking, oh, well, it's happening. Get me out of here. Take me to my
Right.
mama.
You see, aren't you glad that you have a daughter like that that wants to protect you? And I'm sure you were very thankful, and you still are. hmm
I
So,
hope
and
so.
I'm proud of you for standing up to your mom or standing up with your mom and protecting. And
Yeah.
sometimes there's not a lot. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of daughters that will do that for their mom. I mean, it's not because they don't want to; it's just they don't know how. And so
Yeah.
maybe by between you and your mom's testimony, maybe they'll find out how
Yeah.
they can protect their moms from having their fathers. And sometimes, we talk about the women being survivors, but there's men too that have gone through the same thing.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
And so the role reversal is that there needs to be sons standing up for or with their dads in this case.
Hmm.
So it's the same thing.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. So did you as a child feel you could confide in anyone?
Um, you know, I don't remember ever not feeling I couldn't. I just keep a lot in. And I've also learned a lot lately of it's just how I work. So like something happening, I keep it in until I'm ready to talk about it. And I'm finally, all this is coming to light, like I say, as I get older and more experiences and really learning myself. And so yeah, absolutely. Um, it just uh, that's pretty much that's pretty much all I have to say.
And you're being protective and you're being careful about what you say when you say it.
Yeah, I am trying, and people who know me that it's the Lord because I'm
I'm
very open
reading
book.
you. See,
I'm open
I'm
book.
I'm not saying that I can read sentences, but I can tell just by the body language and you're being good.
Well, I
You're
am a
being
little nervous. I'll be honest. This is my first time ever doing this, so I will have to say that.
yeah, and that's
So
okay.
bear with me.
It's funny about my testimony, and I was being interviewed on on here, and I was like, okay, I gotta take a deep breath, and I was nervous myself, and I'm the host of the show,
Oh no.
and so I was the one in the hot
Yeah.
seat,
Yeah.
and so I was like, man, I can't believe I'm this nervous, and here I am, the host of the show, and I'm doing. So it was reversal time. My wife just looked at me and smiled.
Well, I am very happy to be here, so I'm very
No,
excited. I've been looking
good.
forward to this for a while.
Oh, good. And we
Yeah.
have too. We've been talking for what, months on this, and
You can say that your mother was put you in some bad light. It's okay.
Okay.
good. Boy, do we got some good juice. So at least now do you feel less nervous?
Yeah, and I really am an open book, so I just I'll answer any question. I have nothing
Oh,
to hide. I really don't. I mean,
let's just put away. No,
I am
I'm
what I am.
well, and
It's
that's
me.
good. You're being you,
Yeah,
and a lot of people aren't you. I mean, a
and
lot of people can't
yeah,
be themselves. They want to be somebody that they're not,
yeah,
and
and that
some.
breaks my heart. It really does.
I think a lot of times, on a serious note, the reason that they're not the person that they are is because they're scared.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're
I agree.
nervous because they don't want to reveal who they are in person. They want to be somebody, and I'm not saying I'm a celebrity, but they want to be another person who's not going through that
Right.
or that particular situation. And it's hard on them, whether it's a guy
Absolutely.
or a girl,
Yeah.
especially when you're going through a domestic violence situation.
Absolutely. Life is hard enough, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and that's what I've, like I said, I've here lately. I've just really came into tune with myself and really am proud of who I am, and what I've experienced is a lot of drama and a lot of heartache and a lot of hurt. But I mean, it's made me, and I know that sounds so cliche to say, but it really has. And So I think when you find yourself and you're like, what, decide what you will and will not put up with, your life is going in the right direction. So I really believe that. Absolutely.
Well, all right. Well, did you as a child, oh, did your abusers make you feel that you had no alternatives?
I'm sure at some point, yeah. But I thought my mom was happy at the time, so I didn't want to ruffle any waves. And I know some people may, frown on that, but in my mind, that protector, it's just, it's what I am. It's the truth. So, do I regret it? No, absolutely not. I would, like I said, I mean, I'd honestly do it again, but I mean, if any kind of situation, it's just, when you're a protector, that's what you do. You protect. So, that's what I did. I thought my mother was happy, and so that's all there is to it. And I, like I said, and I know when I say it out loud, like it sounds kind of like, I don't know, but um, like I say, like she had been through so much, and the first little bit of happiness, I didn't want to ruin that for her. Who does? I mean, I don't personally. Like when you
Mm.
love somebody, you want them to be happy, right?
Oh
So,
yeah.
you don't want to rock a boat. But that's, so I would say yes and no. Um, just because people have people love to control you in your mind, and just because someone says something doesn't make it true. That's what I
Right.
always, in the back of my mind ever since I was little. So uh, but people like to mind control people. It's just, and,
Yeah. Groom.
yeah, and I'll tell you, like, I do not deal with that like today, like, like, no, you don't get to treat me like that, or you don't get to do that. Like, I don't deserve that. So I found a voice.
Yes, and it sounds like you do have a strong voice about it, and that's good
Yes.
because there's still a lot of women who don't, that need to be trained and shown how to be that
Yeah,
voice.
absolutely. And I hope they find it. I hope
Uh,
you find it.
I hope you find it. Again, if you're struggling with anything, whether it's an abuse situation or somebody, reach out to us here at X Media
Yes.
Group, and we've got some information. And then next week we'll continue this with Lisa. She'll have some more information for you. And but reach out to her, and I think you'll be able. Can they reach out to you as well?
Yeah, we'll figure a way to do that.
Okay.
And me too. I'm more than happy to talk to anybody.
All right.
I would love that.
Okay, so
So,
you heard that here. Seriously, you need to
Yeah.
really reach out, and we'll make sure that we get some information to you by the end of this two-parter. Is
mhm.
what I'm gonna. That way, then it's all done in one, and because you might be able to say some things that maybe some other people didn't hear or need to hear again.
Okay.
So, and you're going to be doing it from your home, I guess, next week.
Yes.
Okay. And so, can you fix someone who has issues?
No, you can't. You can't. You can't at all. I've tried. I still today. I mean, people that I love and care about, I still try to hope them, steer them in the right direction. But it only comes down to themselves if they want to be. It's either two ways, one way or the other. So if you pick, it's your choice. Every day is a choice. Choose to get up. Choose to go to sleep. Choose to eat. Choose to sleep. Go to work. Everything's a choice. So um, yeah, you cannot. That's something that they have to want to fix themselves. But I think that's in our nature, especially myself and my mother. Like, we want to fix somebody. We want to make their life better. We want to put us, but and I think we'll always continue to do that. But there has to be a line where it says, where it's like the other person has to try as well. You know what I'm saying?
And they
So,
need help.
yeah,
They have to want to
yeah,
try.
they have to really want it. And if they do, then I'll be there for you all day long. And same as my mother. So, but yeah, they definitely have to want to fix whatever issue they have going on. Because if they don't, then it's never going to change. It's never going to get better. It's all mentality.
Yeah, especially when it's whether it's alcohol, whether it's
Yeah.
drugs, whether it's whatever,
Yeah,
they have to want to try
absolutely.
and help because deep down, and of course, there's other things that are a disease, but this is not really a disease. It's an issue that needs to be addressed,
Yes,
and it needs. Then they need help, and they want to have help first of all.
exactly. Absolutely.
That's the only way it'll
100%.
break.
Yep.
So could your mother fix those when she was married?
I think she tried. Again, no. Hmm,
Their
no.
troubles just bled over on us, didn't it?
Pretty much. And that's I mean, there was a lot of good, there was a lot of bad, but I think that's just life for you. Period. I mean, you really know what you never really know what anything can happen. So, um, yeah, that's,
And it depends on the person that's being the abuser, you know, what they've gone through in their childhood.
absolutely.
And if they grew up in a situation, believe it or not, mentality wise, they're going to think the same thing. If they've been abused, then it goes right down the line.
Domino effect. Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
It's
So,
natural.
Hmm.
and it's a natural thing. Unfortunately, it's a natural thing for that mother, father to do that, and they don't care who's in the way. They're the dominating person. They're going to do what they want to do when they want to do it, and you are unfortunately the puppet.
Yep. Not no more though.
That's right. And you guys are statue champions for this for this cause. So,
Yes.
and I appreciate that very much
You're very welcome.
because I need to learn. I was abused,
Hmm.
and my mom wasn't abused, but verbally abused. And so we put up with it for a long, long, long time. And, um, you know, some of us had to learn how to stand up to him, and it was hard.
Sure. No doubt.
And, you know, being a child, not just a wife, but just a child or anybody like yourself that's
Hmm.
either visually seeing this going on or then all of a sudden you're being abused.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
Well, especially being so little, you don't have a voice. You don't know what
Mm-mm.
you can and cannot say. And that just tears me up, especially
Yeah.
for littles,
So
for babies. Mm.
So, did you think your mother's life affected your adult life?
I don't think so. I really don't. I've had a pretty good life. I mean, I've had some bumps, as we all do. I was married one time, and that didn't go very well. But I picked myself up and moved on. So I would definitely say no. I don't think so. I don't think I would really change anything. I mean, that's who am I to say to change in the past? It's like it's moving forward, and
Yeah,
like all that, whatever.
nightmares and stuff. You know,
And
um,
I don't have nightmares.
You made the choice to make your life better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Repeat that.
It's a
so
choice. Life is nothing but choices.
it really
It's
is.
your choice.
So, as an adult, do you want to fix others also?
I'll always want to try.
You might not always be 100%, or you
Yeah.
might not, you know, but
Yeah, I will always want to try that. Absolutely. But now I have lines where it's like, okay, like recently I helped a friend who needed to get in some therapy, and I adore this person so much, and I ended up because he was like, I need to go talk to somebody, and I was like, I'm in a whole nother town, 6 hours away. And so I ended up messaging one of my therapists, and I was like, hey, do you know anyone from that location? And so she got me a name and number, and I ended up hooking them up, and it was up to him if he was, going to take the initiative to move forward with that. So absolutely, I will always, if you say like, I need help, I'll do anything in the world to help get you there. So that's what I did. All I did was made the connection, and it's up to him if he wants to continue on or not. So absolutely, I will always want to.
You never know what's going to happen in the future with these people if they end up like I'm going to be writing a book about my life,
Oh, cool.
and I'll talk to you guys more about that later. But I think did you read that? Did I tell you? Okay, I'll talk to you guys more about that later.
Okay.
But as an adult, have you ever been told that you have PTSD from your past abuse?
No, it didn't recently for me to realize that until just recently, actually. So, but yeah, I believe I do. I haven't been medically uh, classified as that, but I'm pretty sure I do.
Yeah, you don't realize it, and then until somebody says, "Is there something wrong with you?" And I don't know. I guess, and
Yeah,
but medically, if I guess if you went to the doctor and they could, and I guess you have to go to a counselor. You can't just go to a medical
yeah.
doctor,
I'm sure it's a process.
But you
right?
did go to a counselor and get medication for me, so.
Yes, and
Well,
I am on anxiety and depression medication, and it has helped a lot.
good,
Yeah.
good.
And the first, I mean, and I went in thinking it got to be so much of my anxiety that I was just like, I'm open minded. So I was like, oh, I don't automatically go to medication, but I was like, okay, let me try this. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Right. So that's what I did. And the first, I think, med that they put me on, I didn't like it. And then the next one was perfect for me. So, yeah.
And that did stem from your childhood. You did
Yes,
say.
absolutely.
So, have you learned how to cope?
Yes, I'm a very spiritual person, and so absolutely, I'm, and I think a lot of it has to do with finding yourself was the coping. Like I really do. Like like the last 6 months to a year or longer. Like I've really come into my own, and it has healed the past. So I've been able to talk about it. So yes, absolutely.
That's
God's
good.
helped you. God's helped you find yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
Amen. So, what would you tell? What would you tell a child if you could try to help them?
I would say, have that one person. If you have a one person, well, I hope you do, that is going through a hard time, you really just need to take them away, step outside, and just totally and trust in them of whatever you're going through and have that support. Um, and it really stinks because I know that some kids don't have that, and that breaks my heart.
Yeah, I
So
didn't actually, but
I know, and
I had my mom, but she was very selective and she was very
yeah,
careful when my dad would leave, then that's when she would talk to me.
yeah,
Find a teacher.
right,
So,
Reach out to
huh?
somebody. Yeah, reach out to somebody, a teacher, somebody at
Yeah.
church. Trust in somebody. Step out of your comfort zone.
yeah. Come to me. I mean, like I don't just
You'll stand up and you'll tell them.
I will, like I will.
You've learned to be strong.
Yeah.
You've learned to be strong.
I'm very protective of children.
That's a lot of people aren't. They're scared to be protective of
Yeah,
children.
nope.
So, what do you think makes teenagers rebel or do alcohol or drugs?
Probably home life, my guess.
That's a good answer. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
I've heard that a lot of times.
Yeah, I think so. I think they just try to get away, and that's just their way of coping, I guess. Of their parents not giving you any attention or talking ugly to you or just not being there. And I was very fortunate to have one good parent that was always there, and but there's some parents that just are not active in their children's lives, and that's rough for a kid. So how are you supposed to act, right? So
You're a kid.
yeah, you're gonna do something that makes you feel better, which really it doesn't do anything but causes more problems. I've learned because I used to have a drinking problem. Um, and I just got so tired of it. I just was like, I need to quit. So I was like, get me out of this town. Get me. I was living in Dallas at the time. And I was like, Mom, get me out of this town. So she did. And um, I ended up had a few rough spots after that, but I think finding something important that was important to me, which I did. It was buying my first house, so that was my goal, and so that's what I set sighted for. And that's what I got. So that's what made me not want to do all that.
Yay!
Yeah,
So what
I found a
saved
happy
you?
place.
Yeah. So what saved you?
I would say honestly myself, just because I had whenever I was going through that hard time in Dallas and doing all that drinking and stuff, and I uh I got tired of it, and I was like, I don't want to be this person. Like I really don't. I'm better than this. And that's what the whole mentality, it's just like you have to want to do that. And so I was, like I said, get me out of town. So I started over, and there we go.
And here you are today,
Yeah.
a strong woman,
Yeah.
very protective.
Yes.
So what would you do anything different?
Honestly, nothing. I really don't think anything. I know that sounds kind of cliche, but I don't think so. I think I'm exactly where I need to be right now, and all that just got me here. So
There you go.
Strong.
yeah, and the support, that one over there. So
Good for you, Mom. Yay!
yeah,
Um,
and she's always in my ear. I can't get her out.
oh no.
And it's not like I have a sibling where I can be like, go over there. Go bug Bobby. No, I get all of 100%. So yeah.
So, well, stay tuned for Changing Times with Lynn Morris and Don Blackard. And they're coming up next. I'm not sure who their guests are, but it's always an informative show. And I just wanted to make a plug in there for that. And Brandy, thank you so
Thank you
much
for having me. I appreciate
I
you.
really enjoy this. And Mom, I look forward to talking to you next week. Even though I can't see you in person, I can always come to
Aw,
Texas.
yes, you can. You'll be there soon. Said summer, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
July. So, but anyway, I want to thank you again, folks, for joining us today. It's been great. This has just been really informative. And next week is part 2 with Lisa. Now, how do you say your last name?
Vanetta.
I was right then. I was going to say Vanetta, right?
You did good.
Oh man,
Nailed it.
I nailed it. Yeah.
2 thumbs up.
So that's good. But anyway, that's next week. So via what part of Texas again?
Austin.
Austin. That's a great area. In fact, I've got a couple people, I think, in that area too. So I've got people scattered throughout Texas,
Good.
and so I appreciate you guys being here and you driving all the way from Texas. And bless your heart. I know you guys just drove from Eureka, but
Well, thank you for having me. I really enjoy being here. So I appreciate you.
thank you.
Yes.
And so, Ethan, thanks again for all your help.
Thank you, Ethan.
And so, so we'll see you guys later. And God bless you. God loves you, and so do I. Take care until next week.